Hi, and welcome to another part of the Integra series. This is my project Integra, and this time around we're going to be reinforcing the chassis. So instead of going for power mods on this project, we're going for reinforcement to give it better handling. First things first, this Integra has insane monster truck status, and we are going to get rid of that with K-tuned coilovers. I just want to thank K-tuned for helping us out with these coilovers, and they do amazing K-swap stuff too. So K-motors, stuff like that, they are your people. Go to them if you're doing a K-swap car. We're working with B-series stuff right now, and this is the K-tuned coilovers. They are insanely adjustable. So we're gonna get rid of the monster truck status with these, and we're also gonna use a few other parts today. Front, lower control arm bushings, rear camber kit. I get so confused with control arms when I say all of them, but this is a front upper control arm. So this is everything we're doing today, and hopefully it goes well because it's an old car, old bolts, old nuts. Let's just go for it. Okay, this is Josh. You might remember him from the GTR video we did his R32, the review and our vlog together, so you should definitely check those out. But now he has a Type R, so it's kind of appropriate. We're back to rocking a Honda. He used to have a Honda as well, so even better for noobs like me. That didn't work out. First things first, we're gonna use our quick jacks instead of jack stands because this is the future. Quick jack, if you don't remember, it's basically a miniature lift, and it's gonna make our lives easier without a doubt. Point right here, I'm assuming. Is this our jack point?
Yes.
Okay, so we're gonna pull this way. Like right there, like right there. How are you on that side?
It's not gonna touch it. We're gonna have to just do right here.
On the quick jacks, you have these little rubber blocks, so you're not really hurting anything.
Look at that little pea shooter exhaust. It's so cute.
About right?
Yeah. We'll see as it comes up and goes forward.
Do 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 do.
All right. Take a gander for me.
We're not gonna be able to hit that jack point on the front.
So I'd like to thank Honda for not considering 20 years later that quick jacks wouldn't work perfectly with them. So essentially the wheelbase of the Integra is just weird enough to where the quick jack is a little weirded out. You'll have the traditional jack points, which is the pinch weld stuff, but with this, we're just gonna have to basically just push it up using the rubber blocks, which sounds very sketchy, but we're just gonna do it because we're gonna do it. Back to doing this.
That's the front suspension setting.
Boom. This is your first time working on a Honda in a long time.
Since the S2000 back in August when I swapped the transmission and the diff and then it spun a rod bearing on me and then I sold it.
That's how it happens. Now you have a nicer Honda.
Yes, but it'll be harder to work on.
This guy had an Integra back in 06.
V20 VTEC, Turbonetics Drag Gen 3, Turbo Kit, pressure, vacuum assist rising rate FMU, so it wasn't tuned. Use the vacuum diaphragm to up the fuel pressure as the boost went up.
Oh my God. This is actually the first time I've seen the rotors and the brakes. Definitely somebody took a paintbrush and painted these calipers. I'm guilty of doing that when I was a teenager, but yeah, it's kind of funny. Everything seems to be in order though. Nothing's too terrible. Just an old car.
I haven't done a stock video of the Type R yet. And everybody's gonna lose their minds on the forums if I go modding the Type R without doing it before and after.
Yeah, of course. If anybody out there has a stock Type R, we'd actually really like to know the dyno number, so let us know.
280 is what most people are getting.
370Z.
We have the upper torsion bars. We're gonna be replacing with the upper camber, or the rear camber kit. It's 2 bolts into the chassis, 1 bolt into the knuckle. There's not even nuts, it's gonna be simple. We also have big spherical trailing arm bushings, but we don't have a press, so we can't do those today.
No, unfortunately.
Also gonna be replacing this, which is 2 inside the trunk, 1 down here, and once this is disconnected, it'll fall away. Gonna be a piece of cake as well. The Integra Type R back in the day was a homologation race car, and they actually did the same sort of gluing of all the seams instead of stitch welding everywhere. The same thing they did on the newer Type R, they just did it more throughout the car to save weight. So instead of stitch welding every 6 inches, you have glue the entire length, which makes it stiffer. And
So, you know my 240SX that I totally forgot I even owned because the truck drivers bailed on it from Vegas? Well, that had all of my tools in it. So basically we're working with almost no tools.
Great success.
In that.
Dangle the dangle. Hey, there we go.
Okay, so yeah, it's like a little bracket.
When we get that one off, we'll measure.
Yeah.
And then we'll get these close enough. Or, well, we can get them close enough once it's on the car.
Wow.
That way we can get a wrench on it and it won't spin.
All right, so looking at the entire assembly, I just took out these two and it just came right off. Go to where my jack is and grab a jack handle because this is not good. Ah, Monica. Okay, we got it to move. It's not easy though. Move to Atlanta. Everything will go fine.
Supercharge your Mustang.
Supercharge your Mustang. Put a big single in your 240.
Buy a drift car.
Buy a drift car that blows up. This is what we just took off, and we're gonna replace it with this beautiful piece of hardware by K-Tuned. Yeah, that's gonna be a lot better of a piece. You have this really thick one, then you got this weak little metal piece. No bueno. Oh yeah, purple helmet from last boss unit video, like a boss. Anyway, so this is where your back coils top are to get, wow. Come on. Under here. So you're gonna undo this over here. So I gotta reach in here. It's already unloosed, right?
Yeah.
Really? Here we go again. Coilovers are easy. Which they are in theory. It's just, and there's only 2 bolts, usually it's 3. But they're so corroded, I can't get them to budge. I got one.
Here you go, friend.
That was not easy. Let me get this first one, because I'm on a roll.
Oh, now he's determined.
These were sealed on. We need some Coca-Cola for that one. Whoa.
Chicken arms for the win.
I know. I put everything I got into that.
Oh, it's like having the right tools for the right job.
Yeah. First thing I ever did to a car ever was change a grill on a Mustang. It was my 02 Mustang, and we put a Mach 1 grill on it, you know, the floating pony. And we didn't have the right tools. We didn't have the right size, so we were trying literally everything to get the grill off, and it's like, just go to the damn store and buy the right tool, and then we got it off in 5 seconds, you know.
So bench press the car.
That's what I'm doing. It is nice I'm not having to wrench the other side and hold it down. Usually I'm doing that when I do coilovers. Stock suspension setup. Look how tall this freaking thing is. It is insane how much travel there is. Here is our K-Tune coilover, much smaller as you can see and fully adjustable.
Yeah, like 2-inch drop.
Yeah, 2-inch drop sounds good.
After it gets on the car, we can use these because we have plenty of adjustment up and down to set the ride height. We get a tape measure, and you look down inside here, that's the bottom of the threaded part, and we can measure from the end of that to either the middle of our bolt hole here or the top of our seat here. And we could get the left and right somewhat close, so we're not infinitely adjusting, raising the car up and down to get our adjustment here. That, and so that the preload is set equally on both sides as well.
One. So this is kind of the trickier part, and then you push that up, you line everything back up, you just do everything in reverse that we did earlier. One thing with the K-Tuned coils is that this nut is actually welded onto the factory one, and we were freaking out for a second till we found out they give you hardware to replace it.
Preload is once you get everything finger tight get all your stuff in there. You put a jack under here and jack up the suspension and simulate the car being under load. So when you tighten everything down, all these joints aren't in a bind. If you tighten them at full sag and you set the car down, all your rubber bushings will be in a bind.
This is what it looks like when it's done. So here we have the coilover, and here is the rear camber kit. So you just direct replacement. It's super simple. It sounds intimidating when you deal with camber and stuff like that, but it's really not that big of a deal. It's 2 bolts and then this one right here. Wait, almost there, almost there. I'm gonna go the other way. Push, 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 and go. Good. Now pull. Yep, there it goes.
These bolts don't have anything to do with that joint, whereas say here, this clamps down on that joint.
Right.
So you can tighten the ones into the body all before you preload the suspension.
Suspension is preloaded while Alejandra is learning how to ollie. But as you see now, it's nice and tucked up in there, so when we put the wheel on, it'll be the actual height instead of just sinking in. So now that I showed you how to do the coilovers with just stock everything, now we're gonna put in the K-Tune control arms, which are gorgeous. All right, so here are the control arms. They are absolutely gorgeous. You can get them in different colors. Here's the rears. So we're gonna do that. They're like as long as this factory wheel. Factory control arm. K-Tune control. Oh my God. That's so ridiculous. Yeah.
Don't get your brake line trapped up inside your coilover.
No.
There's no bolt holes for your brake line bracket, so you can just use zip ties once you get the car settled on the ground and see where your travel is.
At least it's pretty straightforward. You know, it's just 3 separate spots that you just aim at, and then it goes in.
You see these 3 bolt holes here? You have different spot pickup points for different sway bars. So your factory sway bar is going to just go right here to the middle one.
Right.
But some sort of aftermarket sway bar might have adjustability here, forward, aft, and then you have left and right here as well.
Basically, the entire back suspension is 14 millimeter, and then the entire front suspension is 17 millimeter, which we thought we didn't have at first, but we're good.
We're good as long as you have a 22 or the standard equivalent. To replace these go into the subframe, and so these are big giant subframe bolts, and they're 22s.
This is basically what it looks like when it's done on the back. Now we just gotta add some Loctite and we're good. Here's the complete assembly when you are done. It's starting to get dark, so I had to pull a good old studio light out. For the front end, you have 17 and 19. 19 is for the ball joints and stuff?
14 for strut tower.
Okay.
17 for the upper control arms.
Got it.
You undo these because there's no space. If you look up under here, there's no space to get in here and get these. So this will just drop this whole upper control arm out. We'll undo the bottom, pull it out, get the strut out, new stuff in.
Look at the color of this thing in the light. It's so gorgeous. So it's basically gonna sit like this, where the original ball joint was. Here we have coilover, then the new front control arm, and then way back here is that. Awesome stuff. One thing, after you do any kind of suspension work, the first thing you should do is go get an alignment, because you will wear out your tires in the worst possible way, worse than a stance boy. Definitely get an alignment after that. Josh and I are very scared to see how off it's going to be. It's gonna be like a little baby giraffe trying to walk.
Yes.
The alignment is gonna be god awful.
So the back is perfect.
The back's not bad.
The back is perfect, the front.
Oh, you can't tell, hold on.
One, the camber kit needs adjusted up front because they're all the way out positive.
Yeah.
And two, we need to lower the front by 2 inches.
God.
2 inches at least.
Yeah. The back is perfect. I love the way the back sits.
Yeah, back's
It's
perfect.
like a brutal drug watching.
Yeah, it's just doing a permanent wheelie.
Yeah.
The front though, I can see that tread. And
What are those?
take two. Oh, we going positive. Keep going all the way down until they're flat. There. Wow.
Well, push on the front of the car. Yeah.
No, there's some room. All right, Josh, I would say today was a success.
Great success.
Pretty much did every suspension component.
Exactly.
Except a few and some bushings, but that is it. And we're gonna need a pusher for that. So other than that, incredible day. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Take it easy. Have a great day.